Leaked lesson plans from a freshman education course at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign drawing ire after a student whistleblower exposed the level of hard left ideology being taught.
The student shared 6 weeks of lectures with Fox News Digital, accusing the professor of turning an intro course into an indoctrination seminar focused on, you guessed it, equity, identity, and oppression, amongst other practices.
Slides from the course, which is a requirement to graduate, mind you, show first-year education majors were trained to prioritize equity, LGBTQ+ issues, privileged identities, and preferred pronouns. Joining us now is AFPI Center for Education Opportunity Chair, Erika Donalds. Erika, going through this, what the student whistleblower reveals, it is political. This is not an education course. It is a course in liberal, left-wing Democrat politics.
Absolutely, and it's infuriating to the American people and especially the taxpayers that are paying for these courses, whether by student loans or the taxpayers of Illinois, because it is explicitly teaching what are supposed to be brand new teachers, not how to teach children to read, which is a crisis in this country, but instead how to be activists, and explicitly telling them that schools are part of a larger political system, that they should view themselves as activists, and all of the ideologies, as you stated within that PowerPoint, are radical left-wing ideologies that they are pushing on these students instead of teaching them the science of reading, how to teach rigorous math. And we know that brand new teachers coming out of our teacher colleges like this one are woefully unprepared. They say so themselves in survey after survey.
So, yeah, I mean, no wonder our kids aren't learning anything. If this is the stuff their teachers are focused on, they can't teach our kids what our kids need to know. But you're hitting something that's really important. When you look at the problems in college or even in our public education system, it's the people teaching the teachers that are replicating all this junk everywhere. So if you really want to make education better in America, the place you got to go are the requirements for teachers to teach, and the total ideologues who are running all this garbage through the system and teaching our teachers. Erika, how do you fix that?
Well, we have to reform teacher certification. That's one of the things we've been working on here in Florida and elsewhere. The teacher certification process requires students who might have majored in core subject areas like English or mathematics or history to go back and take courses from colleges of education for the purposes of this indoctrination and protectionism by the teachers' unions.
One thing I did want to add before we move on, that when you have courses and teachers or budding teachers who are instructed on privilege and what that means, you are teaching individuals to shame children for how they were born, and to make them feel bad about themselves and aspects of their being that they have no control over.
Yep.
Yeah, we get mad about this happening in elementary schools and middle and high schools, but these are still vulnerable young adults. They're looking to these programs to prepare them to be good teachers. Many of them enter the teaching profession because they want to help young people succeed. And so we need to get a handle on this immediately. It's wonderful that we're seeing this whistleblower, but this is why people are not trusting, especially parents, of our colleges of education and colleges in general.
So, Erika, Education Department Secretary Linda McMahon basically trying to sort of dismantle the Department of Education because it hasn't done any good in, I don't know, 4 or 5 decades, however long it's been around. And school groups are suing her because, you know, they want their political power center in D.C. still. Is that going to work, or do you think she's actually going to be able to kind of basically put this thing to bed and start on a new page?
Well, let's be clear. The groups that are suing to stop these reforms are not parents or classroom teachers. They are the teachers unions, progressive school district coalitions, advocacy groups. These groups have spent decades benefiting from the centralized federal control. These are the same groups that oppose school choice, they fight curriculum transparency, and they don't want accountability to our classrooms. They're not suing because students are thriving. They're suing because their power is being challenged. But Congress created the department, but nothing in the law says that it has to remain an untouched bureaucracy. Secretary McMahon is working very hard to deliver on the promise that President Trump made to dismantle the Department of Education, sometimes moving some of these functions off to departments that it just makes more sense for them to handle, such as the Department of Treasury, the Labor Department, and HHS. And so I think she's doing a great job at delivering on that promise, and hopefully Congress will turn around and deliver as well to completely get rid of this department and the centralized control that the left has used against our students, frankly, for so long.
The doggone thing is younger than I am. Why can't they get rid of it?
And definitely not as
And I
effective.
believe they will.
I mean, I'm making a sort of, I'm making a joke, but that's the truth. It's not like it's, you know, embedded in our founding documents. Erika Donalds, is great to see you as always. Thank you so